Residents of Bawku and surrounding communities in the Upper East region are urging the government to review the current curfew, citing its detrimental effects on local businesses. To them, the curfew, enforced by the Ministry of Interior to restore peace after months of conflict, has led to severe economic hardships in the area. Channel One News' Christopher Kevin Asima reports from Bawku.
At 8:45 a.m. in Bawku, the streets once bustling with activity are now quiet, reflecting the impact of the curfew. The community, with a population of over 100,000, has been plagued by persistent conflict, with over 260 casualties in the past year and a half, making a significant escalation in violence, fueled by arms trafficking and the use of advanced weaponry. The most deadly periods were from 2007 to 2009 and again post-2021. The Member of Parliament for Bawku Central, Mahama Yarga, explained that the current tension stems from the enskinment of a rival chief presented by the Nairi. The presence of this rival chief exacerbates the situation, requiring urgent attention to resolve.
So there is a problem, and the government believes that the way to deal with that problem is ban motor riding, impose curfew, without really paying attention to that act of my grandfather, the Nairi, and how to accelerate dialogue with him to try and resolve the issues with him, because really he's the one holding the key now, the Nairi. And I believe that the situation calls for a lot more dialogue between government and the Nairi than I am seeing. I'm not even sure they are talking to him at all.
Security analyst Colonel Festus Abuaji, retired, has urged the government to take decisive action to resolve the conflict, criticizing the lack of earlier intervention.
I think the situation in Bawku generally can be described as a state of no peace, no war. One of sporadic, escalations in violence. You don't hear much about what the authorities are doing to actually resolve the dispute. I would wish that we address the root causes a bit more strenuously in order that we can revert to a normal society in Bawku.
In June 2023, the Asante Hino 2432 II invited the feuding functions in Bawku to find a lasting solution. The Ministry of Interior imposed curfew hours from 10 p.m. to 4 a.m., urging the community to seek peace through non-violent means. The government has also enforced a ban on carrying arms and men riding within these hours. Mr. Yarga advocated for easing the restrictions, pointing out that the current measures are severely harming the local economy. He urged the Minister of Interior to lift the ban on motorbike riding and called for chiefs to be exempted from the ban on wearing smokes.
Many of the measures that have been imposed by the Interior Ministry, whilst they were good as short-term temporary measures, the fact that they are allowing them to last this long is crippling the economy of the place. And, there's a way that people are fighting, and then the fighting is making them poor. Then you now impose measures that you hope to use to deal with the fighting, and those measures are even making them poorer. And then the poorer they become, the more angry they are at each other, and then, rather exacerbating the situation. To say nobody should ride a motorbike, for me, as a long-term measure, is totally unacceptable.
Despite this effort, the economic impact of the conflict has been profound. The central market in Bawku, demolished for reconstruction 5 years ago, remains unfinished, leading to the rise in mini markets and a decline in commerce. Nearby markets in Bazua and Zebila are thriving, attracting traders from various parts of the region and the country. However, Bawku's business community is suffering, with some residents and traders relocating due to insecurity. Residents have expressed their views on the curfew imposed in the area to Channel One News.
The business settings, there are people who used to cook in the night, do their businesses in the night, and they can no longer do that, which is affecting productivity, you see. So I think that they should really look into the issue. The curfew is really affecting us. Some people cannot go to work because of the curfew. And, in Bawku, there are a lot of people who trade. Yeah. So when it comes to trade, it's really affecting.
Curfew me abele so tombe be cafe for morte sibitini kabe curfew be tete ngula ka moropa to ko yanga moropa la usukwala ene down teste.
Even though it is agreed that, and it is also a fact that it has helped to normalize and to bring peace, but greatly it is affecting us a lot. I wish that people who matters would have at least also look into it and see a way forward.
The region's economic downturn is also reflected in reduced revenue for the local assembly, the spillover of extremist activities from the Sahel, and the influx of displaced Burkinabes are raising concerns about the potential of further instability. The Member of Parliament further suggested that the situation persists partly because some individuals in government are profiting from the ongoing conflict. He noted that this may be why government continues to enforce the curfew, despite assessments indicating that there may be no valid reasons for it.
I cannot, understand how the government is signing a check of 6 million every month. I mean, if you benefit by being given 6 million every month to solve a problem, what is your motivation to solve that problem? Because the persistence of the problem gives you 6 million every month. Why would you want the problem solved if you get to pick 6 million every month, so long as it is perceived that the problem is still there?
In a letter dated August 6, the National Security Ministry justified its 6 million budget. The ministry explained that the budget is allocated for designing and coordinating security operations across the country in collaboration with relevant security and intelligence agencies.
Mr. Yariga says he disagrees with the National Security Ministry, emphasizing that the operational expenditure on the ground does not support the cost indicated by the ministry.
I've checked. The so-called Special Forces team, there are not many. The BNI people that are Special Forces people, they're not even up to 5 or 6. They don't even use up to 2 pickups, so far as I'm concerned. The soldiers, the police that go, they say, so I pay for their rations. The police tell me that they take only 30 Ghana cedis a day as their rations. They are not more than 200. Multiply 30 Ghana cedis by the 200, a day. Multiply that by 30 days. I'm not sure you even spend up to 300,000 on their rations.
Residents lament that the curfew has wiped out nightlife and its associated businesses, significantly impacting those who rely on nightlife activities for their livelihood.
We used to have visitors, NGOs used to come. We used to have the pharmaceutical industry. We used to come every week or every 2 weeks. But since the curfew, well, they've all not come. So business has really gone down. And because of the curfew, well, we don't get visitors at night because there's no movement at night, so it has really affected the business.
For the curfew itself, you can't even get up early in the morning to go and work and do your work. So it's the situation now. Our business is not moving fine for us.
Already the country's economy is not all that strong. Then Bawku issue has come again to make things worse, especially the curfew. So all we are crying to government is government should try and review the curfew so that at least our working hours, we can be able to work and close to a certain, because every institution now, before you could be able to close in time, you have to close somewhere 3:30, 4 o'clock, while we're supposed to close 5:30, 6. So before you could be able to balance your books and go home, it means you have to close 3:30.
The business community here in the Bawku municipality are calling on the Upper East Regional Security Council to have a review of the current curfew schedule imposed in the Bawku municipality. They are appealing for a reviewed program that will protect the peace and also help the businesses in the community to thrive. For ChannelOne News, I am Christopher Kevin Asima, reporting from Bawku, Upper East Region.